Hello, welcome to How We Live Online. I'm Joanna.
And I'm Christina, and this is our Internet Cafe episode. So get a little coffee, get a little treat, go on a little walk for the next 30 minutes.
I was going to say maybe something seasonal.
Maybe a little PSL.
Yeah.
Maybe a little cold brew with pumpkin foam.
Pumpkin foam, some crunchy leaves.
Yeah,
Not to drink,
mouth.
to step on.
And this is the Internet Cafe, and Joanna and I are going to be chatting, sharing small bits of news from the online world. Anyway, okay, I have 3 things to share with you. I don't know how many things you have to share with me.
Oh, that's a lot of things.
Oh, it is?
That's perfect.
Okay.
I have 1.5, maybe 2.5.
Interesting.
I'll start with the half.
Okay.
And then you can do any other things.
Okay.
Okay. My half is you haven't seen Don't Worry, Darling yet.
No. Have you?
Okay. I did. I saw it this weekend and I wanted to share with you that I liked it.
Really?
For those listening, Christina just picked on the cat and
it's
really
very
displayed
silly
her.
and adorable.
Yeah, she's very cute.
So you liked it?
I did like it. Christina's making a
I'm
snake
just
face.
making it because everyone else said that it's bad.
I know.
How was Harry?
Okay. Well,
Was
so
he as good as he was in
give...
Dunkirk? Did you see that with him?
No.
It's like a war movie and he's in it and he's just like eating a jelly sandwich.
Oh, ew.
Yeah.
I did. So I wanted to, yeah, I can try to give like a spoiler-free quick review.
Okay.
I think like Florence Pugh was amazing.
Pew pew.
Pew pew for Pew. And I think like Harry, just in comparison, obviously he's not that good compared to everyone on the cast. So like he wasn't great.
Right.
But also just for the folks who love the online stuff, this internet culture, there is an interesting plot point around that I would encourage, that I didn't know going into it that was going to be a part of it. So that's mostly what I wanted to say, that if you were hesitant because of the news surrounding it, that it's not that good. I mean, it's not great. It was good. And I enjoyed seeing it.
Like, would you watch it again?
Maybe. Honestly, what I was saying after I saw it was that I almost wish they had made it like a mini series. Like it was one of those movies that like the story was, there's kind of a lot going on and they seem to really at the end try to fit in a lot. And so I thought it was interesting. I don't know if I would watch it again right away, just because like I would talk about it more with people who saw it. Like,
right.
It was interesting to talk about, but I don't know, like there wasn't much there more to see, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I wanted to see it. I plan on seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
I have to see it. Did Harry spit on Chris Pine? We need to know. Maybe I'll find out by watching the movie. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it and we can talk about it next time. Next Internet Cafe.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna share some of my news. Okay, I'm gonna go. So one is like dark. I'm gonna do that one in the middle. Here's my piece of news that is not the dark one. Netflix is coming out with a movie called Blockbuster about the last blockbuster ever.
Wow.
And it's the guy, I forget this guy's name. He was in the Baby, Always Be My Maybe movie with Ali Wong.
Oh, yeah.
He was the lead guy in that. He's the lead guy in Blockbuster. And it's about these people in a small town who like run this Blockbuster and they're going out of business, but they're all like emotionally attached to it. And they're trying to save it, I guess. So, and it's a Netflix original movie, which I think is ironic. and it looks cute. It
Wait,
has
so
Amy from, I think her character's name is Amy from that show, that Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
mm,
Yeah.
is it like factual or is it just like a fact in that there was the last Blockbuster store and here's a story we made up about it?
Yeah, I think it's a story made up about it.
Okay.
Because I was like, "Oh, this has to be set, like, in the 2000s, because I don't think that any are in existence anymore," but there's a reference to the new movie with Bugs Bunny and LeBron James.
Space Jam. We saw that on the opening day, Christina.
I know, that's, like, one of the strangest things I have done. But, yeah, there's a reference to Space Jam too. So I was like, "Oh, so this is set in 2020s."
Weird.
Yeah.
Well, when I was doing research for the last episode, I think I actually did come across an article about like one of these last blockbusters, and the article was from 2017. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
I mean, maybe it is for real.
I think like I don't get business all the time of like
Right.
how like it's like, Cosi, when Cosi like went bankrupt and there were like no more Cosis except
Like
at
the
our college
Panera,
campus. Yeah.
the thing that's basically Panera, yeah.
Yeah.
There's one in DC.
Right. But they're still there. But then like the company was bankrupt. Maybe I don't get what bankrupt means.
Yeah, like, how has Nasty Gal been bankrupt so many times?
Yeah.
Same with, like, American Apparel, and now it's LA Apparel, and it's, like, fine.
Like
Same
fine,
with,
but
like, I just keep thinking of Nasty Gal.
I just keep thinking about Cosi.
I keep thinking about that gorgonzola salad.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's basically all I have to say. It looks cute. I'll watch it. But maybe I'll watch it the way that my mom watched that Addison Rae movie by just
Yeah.
skipping forward.
Yeah.
There's like a little love story in it, of course, because the actress from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I don't know her name. I'm sorry. Her character, she just found out her husband was cheating on her or something, so she's like working at the Blockbuster because she needs money. And meets the guy who runs it, and they have a little thing, I guess, trying to save the thing, trying to save the business. Yeah. Do you want me to move to my sad thing, or do you want to go?
No, do your sad thing.
Okay. So I saw this thread.
Sorry.
It's really serious.
Sorry.
Okay, brace yourselves, everybody. We're laughing because we're uncomfortable and we deal with things with humor. So there's like a lawsuit against Amazon right now because, and I saw a Twitter thread about it. I'll post it in the sources, but Amazon sells sodium nitrite, which is not allowed to be sold to households, I think, or like isn't allowed to be sold in many places because there's no household use for it. Yeah. And people are using it to kill themselves. And so as we've talked about in past episodes, these algorithms know what you're looking for and they compare what you're buying or what you're viewing to other things that people who have viewed that item, let's say, have also viewed these other items. So basically, if you're shopping for sodium nitrite on Amazon, what pops up is users or like other shoppers also bought knives, rope, and things like that, for suicide. And so this attorney was tweeting about her lawsuit, and multiple families have had, mostly like I think teenagers will buy it and use it and die. And it's something that like people, if they don't know what it is, like if you see that it was purchased, I don't know what it is. So that's going on and they're waiting for the verdict on it. But the argument essentially is that Amazon is assisting in suicide by doing these things. And Amazon has like defended their right to sell this stuff and like their that their algorithm is like just doing what it does, you know? It's really sad. And CBS was supposed to do a 60-minute piece on it and then pulled the story at the last second because I don't know, it just like came from the top that they weren't comfortable talking about suicide and were worried that people would, you know, take note of how these people have committed suicide and do it themselves. Um,
Mm.
but that the in the thread, the attorneys saying CBS and Amazon have like extremely close ties. It makes perfect sense why CBS wouldn't want to run this story because of the partnership that they have with Amazon. So yeah, that's what's happening, and I think it's what a dystopian, like truly sinister result of the way that we're getting fed information.
Mhm.
You know, like everything is optimized so to the T, to down to the bone that like even people shopping on Amazon, you know, for things to inflict bodily harm, like like it's so crazy that it like could be like a sketch. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and just more like insane, horrible things start popping up, like, "You should get this too," you know? It's like if we were in, like, medieval times and someone was at, like, the market buying rope, and then all of these other vendors started coming up and being like, "Oh, like, you look sad," or like, "Take this, take this, take this, like, this is everything that you need." You know what I mean? Or, like, even if, like, a murderer, if, like, you just with humans behind this stuff, it wouldn't happen, you know? Like, it's just so crazy. It's not like people selling you like, actual people selling you things. Actually, maybe that's not true because people buy guns, people buy assault weapons.
Yeah, well, what I would say is that there are people behind these things. Like, and what's so sinister to me is like the saying that like, oh, this is just the way the algorithm works. Like,
Mhm,
it doesn't have to be. They can easily put in different rules for different types of objects easily, and they don't.
mhm.
And
Or just not sell sodium nitrate because so many
right,
other
like there are so many
places don't.
decisions they can make that they're not making.
Mhm,
And I think to take like a sort of agnostic approach and say like, oh, this is just it's just another thing. Like we don't have responsibility. That's like terrible because they so clearly do. Like
mhm,
it reminds me too of like the all the leaked internal memos from Instagram slash like Meta, I guess, about like
mhm,
how they knew how bad the platform is for young women's mental health. And yet,
mhm,
like, they don't do anything about it. Like, I'd be really curious to know just in general, I've been really curious lately about like the role of individuals in all of this and how like microscopic individual decisions add up to an institution stance or an
mhm.
institution's algorithm, And so I would be
Yeah,
curious to like see what their internal memos look like, like are there people at Amazon who were clued into something like this, years ago and they said, this is a problem,
mhm.
or has it come from the top? People been like, we know this is a thing, but we trust our algorithm or whatever. I'd just be curious to know more about like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. The what I summarized was very much a summary, also just like disclaimer for everyone listening. I don't That's not all of it. That's a very short summary. But I will link stuff for those people who want to read more about it. And I am like just so devastated for all of these families, you know, because it's something that is so accessible for children and young people that shouldn't be. Yeah, it's really I do also wonder about like who knew, who could stop it. And with the Facebook stuff, um there's this podcast that I've been like very slowly listening to called Land of the Giants, and it's about the start of Facebook and like Mark Zuckerberg as a figure just like through the years. And the episode that I most recently listened to was talking about the introduction of the news feed and how people before to know about each other's personal lives, like because there was always the like relationship status thing, but before there wasn't a news feed that like updated you on everyone's stuff. You had to like seek out someone's page to check their relationship status, and then they didn't test the news feed on any users, and they didn't tell anyone. So like overnight the news feed appeared and people were so angry about it because they felt like their privacy was being
Interesting.
compromised. Yeah, it is really interesting. I didn't think about that because like you're already putting it on your page, but you're putting it on in your little corner. You're not like posting it to your feed because the feed didn't exist. But so like I think they talk about like people who had just broken up or like just posted something that they wouldn't want other people to see, like everyone to see, you know, just people who were checking, I guess, like were really upset that it was like on blast, you know, on the news feed. And they interview one of the original engineers, and she was basically just saying like, you know, it's really crazy we didn't test any of these things and people were so angry. But basically what she has been saying through a lot of her interviews is like, we as a team were so excited to try this new thing. And it's that like mad scientist trope from every movie, like I'm gonna do it because I can do it, seems to be the decision, like what makes them make those decisions. But and that's like on a totally different scale than this Amazon thing, but like it is fascinating to think about who's making these small changes when they are either like ruining or ending people's lives or just like disrupting people's social lives or like literally making the world smaller through shipping and connecting people. So yeah, that's my big story. And it feels kind of awkward to move to a next thing, but I guess we should. Yeah, I encourage everyone to, if you have the interest and wherewithal, to read about it. But we can go to your thing, or I can go to my next thing.
I have something that kind of connects to the idea of the news feed.
Okay.
A little bit. It just makes me think about like, you know, how information can't really be compartmentalized on social media. You know, like everything seems to be out there more so, and like how even if I'm just thinking about this idea of like privacy, right? That you were talking about, that like the news people felt like the newsfeed violated their privacy.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to bring up a story that I don't know that much about at all.
Great.
But I think was
That's
a pretty
what
big
the Internet
story.
Cafe is.
Right. Okay.
It's a light summary of light meaning like not comprehensive
Yeah.
summary about
Light, LITE.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, if listeners aren't aware, Christina and I are both gamer girls, as in we both have Nintendo Switches and each play like one game.
That's new for me, okay? I love to say I don't play games because I think it's a funny thing to say, like, I don't play games. Like, I'm straightforward, which I'm not. I'm a manipulative person. But anyway, I'm a Cancer moon. Like, what am I supposed to do about it? But I don't play games. It's also kind of a lie now because I play one game on my Switch Lite. Is that what it's called? I don't even know what it's called.
I don't know what you
My
have.
little baby Switch, the pink one. Yeah.
The big Switch, yeah. So since Christina and I are really big in the gaming community, we both obviously were very closely following the face reveal of the huge Minecraft streamer Dream. Have you heard anything about this, Christina?
Oh my God, this contextualizes a lot of tweets that I've been seeing.
Okay.
Okay. Stop. People are making fun of him.
I know. there's a lot happening, I
What did
think.
they think he looked like?
I don't know. And it's just such a weird thing of like I just think it's so interesting that like this guy had this level of privacy that no one knew what his face looked like. And then like his choice to reveal his face slash like also this like intense buildup about his face.
Hmm.
And then like, but he's just a guy. Like if I don't know if you've seen his face,
No, I have.
he's the most normal looking man I've ever seen.
Just a white
Completely
guy with brown hair.
just completely unremarkable.
It's like, sorry, you didn't think that some streamer was a skinny white man with brown hair?
Right.
Like, I'm gonna fall into the tweets that I've been seeing. So I was like, why are people like shitting on this random guy? Like, who the fuck? What?
Well, it's also, I mean, there's just like a lot of interesting things. It's also like, I think it's funny to think about like, who are you, normal man, to like even have a face reveal? You
Right.
know, like, who are you to hide your face? Because it's almost like, I mean, I agree, everyone should have the right to hide their face, but it's almost like this thing where it's like, you should have had a, like, why were you hiding your face? Like, it must be
Oh
a
yeah.
beautiful face, or I don't know.
It must be the most magical face. Or the most disgusting, terrible face. Okay,
Right.
when you just search dream, just the word dream on Twitter, the top tweet is, it's time to settle this. Like if Dream is handsome, retweet if Dream is ugly. And you know what? It's tied, which almost always likes win because no one wants to retweet stupid shit like that. Okay?
Right.
And liking it is the easier, nicer thing to do because it says like if handsome,
Oh my
retweet if
God.
ugly. 18.2K likes, 18.1K retweets.
Wow. But those are trolls, probably.
Yeah, but someone's still behind the account.
Yeah, it's people being, I don't know.
I
I think
don't
it's silly.
understand. Like, I don't understand. Apparently, he's been going to some like gaming convention stuff. I don't really know. Wait, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe this is a different man. Whatever. But what the fuck? Poor guy.
Yeah.
So many screen grabs of some random white man with moppy brown hair on my freaking Twitter feed, and I was like, I don't care. Is this
Hmm.
supposed to be funny?
I'm not plugged in enough to, yeah, know all the nuances of like the situation and different perspectives. But I
Yeah,
feel
was
like
he
there,
just streaming with like a black screen? Was it just audio?
I think most of his things were just the game.
Yeah.
And then he had a little, I think a smiley face was his like logo kind of thing.
So my last thing is this video of Chris Pine from Don't Worry, Darling.
No way.
Yeah, Chris Pine is in Don't Worry, Darling.
I know. I watched the movie, Christina. I'm saying no way, like you had this the whole time and now you're bringing it up at the end.
Because it's the best, it's my favorite thing.
Okay.
And we're doing like a full circle moment.
Yeah, that was really, you really architected this. You're an
I told you
architect,
I'm a manipulative
a
person.
manipulator, if you
Um,
will.
okay. There's this interview is this clip from this interview is from like March. And I I found a quote from it just on Twitter. And then I went to watch the little clip from the interview, and it's him talking about how he used to have a flip phone and how he just got an iPhone.
I have a he's fucking murdering these books. Just 15 books in like 3 months. Just and then this showed up, and it's I can tell you everything about Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian. I can't tell you a fucking thing about literature. I can't tell you a fucking thing about it.
I want to share that because I saw the quote from it, which was, I used to read so many books, Josh. I was fucking murdering these books, just 15 books in like 3 months. And then the phone showed up, and it's I can tell you everything about Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian, but I can't tell you a fucking thing about literature. I just want to vomit. I hate myself. I have so much self-loathing about it. And I was like, Chris Pine upholding the value of literature? And the thing is that I have tweeted many times about how I find it annoying when men, especially men, people though, are like, "Ugh, I just hate the internet. Oh, I just hate all the phones and the TikTok and the da da da. It's terrible. I don't want anything to do with it." Without and like being so above it. Chris Pine managed to do that and also say, and I'm at a fault. I have a fault because I also succumb to it because it's so easy to do, you know?
Mhm.
And I feel like when people say that stuff, they're just like being all high and mighty. And even though it's like, yeah, everyone suffers from this world, from this online world. But like opting out doesn't make you better. You know, you're not better than me. What you think you're better than me?
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
And Chris Pine says, I am just a human man. I succumb to the powers of the internet as well. Who me? A very rich man who is engaged in art. I too somehow have brain space for stupid celebrity gossip. Anyway, love him. Just wanted to share.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I really love that quote, especially. It is funny. Yeah, I agree with all of your comments. I would like to know more about why this type of man is so unsettling.
What do you mean? To me or just generally?
To us, everyone that is like, what is it about that?
Well, for me, in my opinion, and I've gotten my ear talked off by multiple men about
Mhm.
how social media is ruining everything. I don't care about any of that stuff. I spend time doing more important things. I'm generally of the opinion that I want to know what's going on. I'm
Mhm.
nosy. I want to know what the people are doing, what the people are talking about, what the movies are, what the memes are, what's going on. Because that allows me to connect with people in real life
Mhm.
and say like, "Oh, did you see this thing?" And I get to talk about something like the "Don't Worry, Darling" spitting drama instead of being like, "Did you see this like truly horrific and traumatic thing in the news?" Which like
Mhm.
I think maybe, of course, there is value in having discussions about that stuff. I don't think they need to happen constantly, and I don't think that I don't think that connection necessitate necess necessitates, like, sharing sad stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I think we can just talk like, why can't we talk about art and entertainment? Why not? I don't know, and
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
think it's also the attitude
Yeah.
of, "I know better than you." Like,
Yeah.
you're engaged in this thing that's actually fucking stupid,
Yeah.
and you shouldn't be. And it's like, okay, well, a lot of people make friends or stay friends or just like that stuff.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying you have to get on Twitter, but I am saying that you should read my tweets because 'cause they're funny. Like, I'm out here, like, being a little clown for you,
Yeah.
and you don't wanna see that?
For me, it's like I can't say anything more other than the fact, like, I feel like technology is masculine, and then, like, this anti-technology is also masculine, and I just it feels like we're all supposed to be bending to these masculine whims. Either way, we're opting into a masculine system, and that's all I can say about that right now. But that's sort of how I feel I'm it, that like, it's like, okay, dude, like, I don't know, pick one, but we're all either way, like, it's the same fucking thing.
Either way, it's actually a world built for you.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why the online stuff is so like, look, this is a new fucking world that I have been alive to watch be created by you
Mm-hmm.
and manipulated and optimized by and for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I have found my little way to make it fun for me,
Mm-hmm.
just in the same way that I walk around these streets in my little outfits and my colorful eyeliner, and I try to live my life in your stupid simulation, you stupid man. And you're pissed in real life about things that actually you made.
Yeah.
And you're pissed about this online world that you also made.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to hear about it from you because you're the one benefiting the most.
Right.
It's like when it's like brag planing
Yeah.
or something like, oh, like I'm just like in school, like people who are like, I'm so tired, like I have a 4.0, but like with my AP credit points, I should really have a 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I have a B. And I don't feel bad for you with your A. I don't know if that is totally a good analogy, but we can leave it at that. I'm
Yeah, there's
really,
something
I
there.
love the masculine world thing. That's really interesting. And that kind of something we're going to talk about later in the season.
Foreshadow.
A little foreshadow. We'll leave it at that random rant, and we'll
Thanks for tuning into the Internet Cafe.
thank you for listening to How We Live Online. If we made you laugh, please send this episode to a friend, maybe two, maybe your mom, maybe your dad, maybe your other parent or guardian or grandparent who's good at using their phone. We love you all so much. Thank you for coming to our little coffee chat. Joanna, you got any words for the peeps?
We love you.
We love you so much. Bye.
Bye.